It's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and today I'm going to show you how to play Don't Stop Believin' by Journey on acoustic guitar. I'm just going to play a little bit of it for you.
Some will win, some will lose. Some were born to sing the blues. Oh, the movie, it never ends. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting up and down the boulevard. The shadows searching in the night. Streetlight people living just to find emotion, hiding somewhere in the night. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
So if you've tried looking this song up online, you may have found a version with a ton of bar chords like this. You know, and like going all over the place. You also may have found the simple version that still has a B minor bar chord in there. Well, in this version, it's only using basic chords, G, D, E minor, C. That's it. Those are that's the most common 4-chord combo ever. And if you need more help with the chords, I have a free ebook. It's completely free for all my subscribers. I also have a crash course. If you have yet to kind of play through your first song or put it all together, I'll put links to both of those down below, and you kind of just get them both if you want. Anyways, we're going to get started with our chord progression. Going G, we leave our ring finger down and we get into our D chord. It's a really easy pivot. And you know, if you don't know little tricks like that, like I said, my ebook will definitely help you out with all that. And then from the D chord, we're going to go into E minor. And I like to leave my ring finger down for a bit while I get these two fingers, which are already in line with the E minor chord. I get them in place and I kind of pivot that way. And then E minor into C, I just leave my middle finger down. I get into my C chord. And then from there, we go back to G. And there's no real trick to that. You just have to do it over and over again. You know, just put your middle finger on the thickest string and just kind of work your way into that over and over again. If you want some simpler chords and you actually want to play some songs with them, that's what I do in my crash course. We learn 2 real songs that you're going to recognize in a really simple way, and we get the rhythm together and we kind of focus on playing through entire songs. So that's a really good way to kickstart your journey. Completely free, by the way. Anyways, now I'm just going to write out the chords for the verse here. So our first line is G, D, E minor, C. I recommend practicing the heck out of that. I have a video where we do 30 songs that use that progression. I'll put a link in the corner if you just want to kind of have some fun playing through it a whole bunch. So we do it one time like that, and then we do almost the same thing, except we replace the E minor chord with D. So G, D, D, C. And we just go between those 2 lines. That's like 90% of the song. The other part is I guess you could call it the pre-chorus or the alternative verse or whatever it is. But we'll cover that in a second. Before we do it, I just want to take a look at the strumming. We're going to use the most common strumming pattern ever. I'll do it slowly. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And if you're not familiar with that, we're just going to take a quick look at it. I also have another lesson where we just do this strumming pattern for the entire lesson. I'll put a link to that if you need extra help. But let's just try this first. We're going to have to count this thing out, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. On beat 1, it's just a downstroke. On beat 2, it's a down up. Down on 2, up on the and after 2. And then this last little bit, this is what we really need to practice. We're missing on beat 3. We still have to put our arm past the strings. I say miss, and then I go up, down, up. So I would practice 3 and 4 and all at once, going miss, up, down, up. And I would count 1, 2, miss, up, down, up. 1, 2, miss, up, down, up. Over and over again. And then when you're ready, you can add down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. And I recommend really taking your time to make sure that your rhythm is really solid. That's what can make or break somebody's guitar sound. And if you need extra help with that, like I said before, I have some other materials, some supplemental materials that you can work on. Anyways, we take that pattern and we play it one time per chord shape. And that's all we do during the verse. And we're going to play that in a sec, but I want to show you the pre-chorus first. Here's the chords for it. So we do C 2 times with our pattern, G 2 times with our pattern. We do that again and again. And then we play C 2 times, and then we have these chord shots that go. And that is some really quick switching. That takes this song from like absolute beginner level to late beginner intermediate level. But I have another way for you to play that. And let's take a look at both of those. Let's actually start off with these notes here. We're playing the 5th fret of the A string with our ring finger, and then we go to the 3rd fret of the thickest string with our index. And then we do that again, and we roll our index up to play the 3rd fret of the A string. And it's important to count the rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. So you can just see it. I have it written with the rhythm. You count out loud. You always start with the counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you add the notes where they line up with the counting. Being sure to keep that counting that you're counting out loud, slow and steady. Or we can do that with some chord shapes. It follows the exact same rhythm. It goes D and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. So I went D, G, D, G, and then C add 9. We could switch to a full-on C chord, but that's just a little too tricky. I prefer going G and then C add 9, which is just like a G chord, except I move my middle finger and my index finger over by one string. Yeah, we just play that at the end of the pre-chorus, and that takes us into either our verse or our chorus, depending on where we are in the song. At this point, I'm going to play through verse, pre-chorus, chorus, just so you can see how all the parts transition into each other and see how this whole thing gets put together. This is the second verse, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. You just have to be able to go between those two different chord progressions, basically. If you want to play along to the entire song, I have a full playthrough on my Patreon page. I'll put a link to that down below. Also down below, you'll find a link to my free ebook and all my freebies that are designed to help you get better at guitar. I also have my premium course, Learn Guitar Once and For All, which is designed to take you from absolute zero to being a confident strummer. You know, somebody who can just show up and play guitar, whether it's at a party or an open mic or, you know, just in your living room with your friends or your family. It's designed to get you knowing all the common chord progressions and chord shapes, really feeling the rhythm, you know, so that you're not getting lost in the song and you're more like on top of it, and you're not going to be reliant on sheet music, you know, and you're going to learn songs along the way. I'll put a link to that down below as well. Otherwise, if you enjoy learning guitar with me, and you could take a moment to hit the subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment, I'd really appreciate that. Even if you just want to say hi, or if you have a question in the comments, I do like hearing from you guys. Otherwise, have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.